Manipulating her is the fastest way to long-term relationship. If you clicked on this video, it's because that word triggered you. Manipulating her? That sounds very wrong. It sounds very toxic. It sounds very immoral. Good. Because most people react emotionally to words without understanding their true meaning. In this video, I'm gonna use this word, manipulation, in its original sense, within the etymology of the word manipulate, not the modern negative distortion of it. The word manipulate comes from the Latin word manipulus, which means handful or a bundle. Mani means hand, and pulate means filling or handling. So, etymologically, manipulation literally means to handle something skillfully with your hands. And this original word does not have any context of deceiving, abusing, or harming irresponsibly, but to handle with skill. So, if you want a long term relationship, you must learn how to handle feminine nature with skill. So, in this context of this entire video, the word manipulation is going to mean to handle her skillfully and influence her. So, before you tell me that, women don't like manipulation, okay, yes, I agree. Women don't like being manipulated by a man that they do not find attractive. That's the harsh truth. But women absolutely love being handled by a man that they deeply desire and respect. Look at what women consume romantically. Like, look at the novels like 50 Shades of Grey. I watched that when I was, I don't know, like when I was 16 for research purposes, of course. One of the best selling books of all time. Woman does not fantasize on weak men. They don't. A woman fantasize on men who is decisive and attractive and high status man. And he knows exactly what he's doing. And he knows what he's doing. That's the exact point. Women love strong leadership from a strong man, mentally and physically, and they want to follow him. On the other hand, women hate weak men, and they don't respect him. They don't. They do not follow weak men. I have personally experienced this. I used to have weak mentality and failed in relationships very horribly and poorly. And this has led me into a rabbit hole of finding the truth about relationship between man and woman for over 10 years. So, yeah, let's break this into 3 points. So here's the first point. The man that knows how to manipulate, by the original Latin word, knows how to trigger woman's emotions. He knows that the attraction is emotional, not logical. He knows that attraction is like a roller coaster. It goes up and down. He knows that he knows how to challenge her correctly and reward her and withdraw attention, sometimes, strategically though, escalate tension, create uncertainty, and create certainty at the same time. So he understands the emotional polarity. He goes from safety to danger, from danger to safety in a very, very decisive way. And when this is done correctly, woman gets attached to emotionally. And this really sounds morally wrong. Yes, it really sounds morally wrong. But this is the basis of woman's attachment and emotional investment within you. The goal of triggering the emotions is not to make her suffer. It is not the goal. It is not to make her suffer in this case, but to rather make her think of you and make her miss you. And here are the characteristics of a man that knows what he's doing. First, He is not overwhelmed by her mood swings and mood shifts because he knows that he has created those mood shifts. He does not argue with with her feelings because he knows that feelings are emotional investment within him. So he takes it as positive. He knows that he's able to control her emotions through his masculine presence and certainty. He leads with the emotional tone of interaction, and he leads with calmness. And that manipulation is a skill. And by the way, if you're an executive, entrepreneur, or high performing man who wants to find a long term wife material and not repeat the pain of your past breakup, link in the description to work with me one on one. Here's the second point: do not be afraid of controlled harm in the bedroom. Controlled harm. Let's address this very honestly. Many men are afraid of sexual intensity, but sexual attraction and the attraction itself involves intensity. Emotional intensity is within the correct environment. The emotional intensity must be in the correct environment. Correctly said. And there's a difference between abuse and controlled dominance. There's a big difference between abuse and controlled dominance. Controlled harm in the bedroom, when fully consensual and mutually desired, of course, it is not cruelty. It is a polarity that woman wants. A man who is completely incapable of aggression cannot, I repeat, cannot create deep passion with a woman. Woman cannot fantasize about timid men. Women fantasize about powerful men who are controlled, who are in control of their power. The key word is control. The control over strength, control over intensity, control over escalation. The controlled man. When used responsibly and consensually, the physical dominance and intimacy can amplify attraction and emotional bonding. Choking, slapping, etc., etc. Yes, those are the things that triggers woman's innate desire to submit, and it tells her to her subconscious mind that you as a man is not afraid of using aggression when it's needed. So for enhanced sexual activities, I recommend Sterling Cooper's YouTube channel. I recommend him. Uh, he's an absolute expert at this. But if you're an emotionally unstable man, insecure or reactive, don't attempt this. Power without discipline becomes destruction. Power with discipline becomes polarity, becomes attraction. So do not confuse these two. So here's the third point. Your self concept is the source of manipulation power. Your self concept is a source of manipulation power. The ability to manipulate, to handle skillfully, etymologically, of course, comes from your identity. It comes from your self identification as an unshakable man. A man who has power has unshakable conviction about himself. He knows he's attractive. He knows he's valuable. He knows he's very selective about women. He knows he's not desperate. No. He knows he's not easily replaced. It is not arrogance. This is internal stability. If you secretly believe that she is better than you, or the woman who you're talking with is better than you, your attempts to lead her will feel very forced, and she will actually feel it. Unconsciously, she will feel it. If you know your value, your leadership feels natural. Woman respond to your internal conviction and naturally wants to follow you. Manipulation power does not come from tricks. It does not come from this physical level. It comes from the mental level, which is the self belief and the self identification. The man who knows who he is and what he is capable of does not beg for compliance. He never forces submission. He never forces submission because he is the natural leader that woman wants to follow naturally. It must be organic. So here's the conclusion. Being able to manipulate means having power. Power to influence emotions. Power to intensify attraction. Power to lead intimacy. But power must be used responsibly. Shout out to Uncle Ben in Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. You must learn how to manipulate, meaning you must know how to handle women skillfully. You must become attractive. You must become disciplined. And you have to build discipline. And you must use that power very, very wisely. So if you lack the ability to influence, you'll be influenced. If you lack the leadership, you will be led. The fastest way to long-term relationship is not being passive. It's a skilled leadership. So handle yourself with discipline when you have that power. Lead with control. And that is the manipulation in its original meaning, etymologically. And that is the power. Thank you very much.